Hello and welcome to Yorkshire Voice. I'm Grace McGrory. On today's programme, Halifax RSPCA has hosted a fundraiser inspired by the animals themselves, and the residents of York retreated to the first York Life Festival, benefiting local entertainers impacted by the pandemic.
And I'm here with the sport, ready to give you a roundup of all this weekend's footballing action.
But first, for many students, today is the first day of the Easter holidays. That also marks the beginning of the last big revision period before students sit their GCSE and A-level exams. Since exams haven't been in person since the pandemic, many pupils are feeling anxious about being back in the exam hall and feel unprepared for the future. Phoebe Morton reports.
Anna hasn't sat in an exam hall since before the pandemic, when she moved from Italy to Leeds to go to Leeds City College. She is anxious that this lack of preparation and disruption to her college education will affect how she handles university life and worries for her mental health.
The main worrying is the fact that I don't know if I have to spend all my day in my room studying, trying to achieve the best and be stressed all day and have a major anxiety issue, or I can just try and enjoy myself a little bit and just go out.
A government-sponsored programme, Student Space, provides phone, text and web chat support to university students. Trained volunteers can help with mental health and relationship problems.
I think that's one thing that you want to do at uni, just to enjoy the experience, but it also comes with anxiety, stress and mental health problems that no one wants, but you have to go through eventually if you go to uni.
Hopefully, Student Space will be extended further, as Anna will go to university in September.
As well as the education sector, the pandemic has hit the live music industry hard. Grassroots venues have been particularly affected. Now, there's been another blow for the Lead Mill in Sheffield. The much-loved music venue is facing closure following an eviction notice. The Music Venue Trust is a charity that supports the UK's live music venues. They represent 900 music spots across the UK, including the 42-year-old Lead Mill. Our reporter, Jessica Bailey, spoke to Jay Taylor from the Music Venue Trust about the importance of protecting these spaces.
Ownership's at the centre of the campaign to protect, secure and improve UK's grassroots music venues. At the moment, the biggest threat to grassroots music venues is ownership. 93% of our membership has a private landlord. The long-term solution is for the operators to own the buildings they're in. It's as simple as that. MVT's working on a bunch of initiatives right now to kind of improve that situation. But categorically, the answer to this is for the operators, people who are the venue and do in charge of the music provision, to own those spaces.
Now, COVID cases are now back on the rise, with a total of 69,000 cases reported yesterday. There are suggestions this could be down to a new variant of the virus. Our reporter, Georgia Collins, has more.
A new COVID variant called XE has been found in the UK, which is said to be more transmissible than Omicron. I spoke to Horsforth residents about their concerns.
I'm double vaxxed, and I just think at this point we should get on with it. I know that's a really sort of bad way to look at it, but I'm at a point where I'm just tired of it all now, and I'm like, let's just crack on, get on with it. If I get it again, I get it again. Obviously, there's people out there who need to be more worried about it than I am, but I'm in pretty good health, so I'm okay from what I see.
No, I've never been worried about it. I'm shrug my shoulders, that kind of thing. I've had the injections, and I'm very free and easy about it.
I can't see why people will not get it done. Because as I say, we've had the boosters, and we're fine.
Now, you may have noticed that the price of your portion of fish and chips has gone up recently. Fish and chip shops in the UK are having to increase their prices, as the cost of white fish has increased by a reported 50%. Russia currently control around 45% of the global white fish supply, which has been cut off as a result of the sanctions imposed because of the war with Russia. As global supplies diminish, competition to buy fish has caused the prices to soar. Woodside fisheries in Horsforth have been impacted by the sanctions directly. Owner Simon Greaves has had to make changes to the way he runs his business, as he is unwilling to compromise on the quality of the fish to keep costs low.
There's certain concessions that one can make, trying to be a little bit more energy conscious with the lights and, trying to turn off, the power switches at the mains and, certain concessions you have to make. I've had to trim the schedule for my employees, so they've suffered a little bit because they've had their hours cut. But as far as, directly answering your questions, as far as changing ingredients, things like that, I haven't been willing to do that. I don't think I'm going to be willing to do that.
Now, we go from fish to land animals. April is known to many as lambing season, but what some might not know is that it's also kitten season, when cats traditionally come onto heat and there's a boom in the number of kittens born. Many of these end up as strays on our streets. Our reporter Phoebe Morton went to a Yorkshire RSPCA centre which held a unique fundraiser to raise money for supplies to care for them.
Halifax, Huddersfield and Bradford RSPCA need to raise money for supplies for their residents, as well as to pay for the centre to keep going. Despite being part of the national RSPCA, each branch is responsible for raising their own funds. Halifax RSPCA have chosen an unusual way to fundraise inspired by the animals themselves, a scratching post challenge, combining fundraising and fitness.
So today we're at rock climbing gym in Brighouse, and thanks to Rock Foundation we've got together and put this challenge together. So we had the thought of how strange it looks where maybe somebody's going up a climbing wall that kind of looks like a cat going up a scratching post, and we're a bit weird at our branch, and these ideas, they come into our heads, and you know what, we go, why not give it a go? And luckily the local community have really got behind it, and we've had some people dress up as cats. That's their business. They've dressed up as cats, but we've also just got some great local businesses who have got behind it. They've raised some funds, and it's a bit of fun, which is the main point of fundraising. But again, there's a bit of a serious message behind it as well about the fact that we are coming into a kitten season. So we wanted to raise awareness that we are going to get a lot of cats that might not have been neutered, and we're going to need to be able to look after them, and that unfortunately with costs going up at the moment, we need the funds. So it just made sense really of why not just have a climbing wall, dress people as cats, go up it, raise some funds for our cats in our centre.
Just thought it was something fun to do, and obviously if it's raising funds for the RSPCA as well, then it's just added bonus, I suppose.
That's it, just
and
nice
it's a challenge, a good challenge to do, and if it raises money for the local RSPCA.
We chose the RSPCA just because it's someone that everybody knows, someone that everyone gets involved with, and as well it's good for us internally because it's something that people want to get involved with. We've got a lot of animal lovers in the office, so it's something just to sort of help get staff out of the office as well, and if we can do that and help the RSPCA as well, then it's a win-win for everybody.
Having been there all day, I couldn't not give the wall a try. Halifax, Huddersfield and Bradford RSPCA raised £1,160, just in time for kitten season. And whilst I had a great time trying it, I think I'll leave the climbing to the cats. Phoebe Morton, Yorkshire Voice.
I think those kittens might be the cutest contributors we've ever had on Yorkshire Voice. What a lovely way to brighten up our Monday. Now, visitors to York are in for a treat this weekend, as Clifford's Tower, an English heritage site, reopened to the public following a £5 million renovation project, which began in November 2020. Previously, York residents had made their feelings known, leaving bad reviews. But the 800-year-old landmark has undergone a major revamp. This includes new aerial walkways and the opening up of previously hidden rooms. It is all that remains of York Castle, which was built for Henry III and is known for its stunning views over York. Tickets cost just under £10 an adult. Staying in York, the COVID-19 pandemic has had a huge impact on the entertainment industry, not only in Sheffield, as we heard earlier, but all across the region. But a new festival was launched in York City Centre this weekend, aimed to get the industry back on track. Will Cole went to York Life Festival to find out more.
Crowds gathered this weekend for the first ever York Life Festival, run by council-owned company Make It York, as the city's entertainment industry looks to recover from the impact of the COVID pandemic. The weekend featured an array of acts, ranging from comedians to musicians.
We're here at York Life Festival,
which is really a celebration of all sorts of different culture in York. I've been involved in programming the music stage, which is 2 days of bands who are all from York. So what's really been good about the event is to come together as like York's music scene and do something that's never really been done before in York, with quite a big stage in the middle of the high street and all sorts of different bands and music playing. It has been really difficult the past couple of years. I guess it really made us in a way more determined and more focused in trying to like keep putting on good music in York, whether it's with local bands or with national or international touring acts.
The event was based in the heart of York city centre and was free to attend, featuring over 30 live local acts. Families tried out circus workshops, face painting, and could even learn about the Viking history of York.
With York Life Festival, it's obviously good to look at the past at York, helps bring people into the city. I think that's one of the greatest things about York itself, that the city's so old. It's one of the oldest cities, one of the most historical cities in the country, and visit York, stuff like this, make it York. Having us here talking about York 1,000 years ago, I think, yeah, really helps to cast views onto York as today, really.
Although the main stage attracted large crowds, residents will have to wait and see whether York Life returns in the coming years. Will Cole, Yorkshire Voice.
Throughout last week, Yorkshire Voice followed Ukrainian strongman Pavlo Kordiaka and his journey through the war-torn country to get to the UK for the Europe's Strongest Man competition. On Saturday, Pavlo competed at the First Direct Arena in Leeds, where the Ukrainian strongman ranked 4th place on a leaderboard of 12 with 37 points. The winner of the night was fellow Ukrainian strongman Alexei Novikov, who scored 52 points, despite having limited training time and accessibility, as he had spent the last month training with the Ukrainian army. Staying with sport, we can now cross over to Will.
Thanks, Grace. It's been an action-packed weekend for the Yorkshire footballing scene. We start in the Premier League with relegation-threatened Leeds United. They hosted Southampton, with the match ending in a 1-1 draw. The highlight was, no doubt, Leeds talisman Calvin Phillips' return to action following a lengthy injury layoff. This Saturday's game against Watford will prove crucial, with Leeds' relegation odds at 10-3. There was success at Wembley for Rotherham United, who were crowned champions of the Papa John's Trophy with a 4-2 victory against Sutton United on Sunday. They twice battled back from a goal behind to win the match in extra time. And Huddersfield beat local rivals Hull City on Friday. Fullback Harry Toffolo nicked a 1-0 win for the Terriers, keeping them 3rd in the Championship table and firmly in the race for promotion to the Premier League. And continuing their winning streak from last weekend, Sheffield United women earned a 1-0 victory against Bristol City women. And darting away from the football, the 2022 Premier League darts season has been confirmed to visit the Leeds Direct Arena on Thursday, the 7th of April. And finally, in the last hour, we've unfortunately learnt the sad news that Malcolm Scott, former commentator and honorary associate director of Bradford City Football Club, has passed away, age 85. I'm sure we send out our condolences to him and his family. That's all the sport that we have for now. Back over to you, Grace.
Thanks, Will. And finally, for the weather. Erin, what can we expect tonight and tomorrow?
So Grace, I hope you can hear me because it's very, very breezy out here, but it is due to reach a maximum of 13 degrees. Tonight there'll be outbreaks of rain and drizzle, but the winds will ease and we'll be experiencing a minimum temperature of 7 degrees. Tomorrow will be cloudy but drier and brighter than today. However, we might have snow coming at the end of this week, so do keep an eye out for that.
Thank you, Erin. Thank you, Erin. Just as I thought it would escape the snow. I'm afraid that's all we have time for today. If you have any stories, please get in touch with us on Yorkshire Voice. Join us again tomorrow. Goodbye.